Hello, everybody, and welcome to the evening that we've reserved for celebrating Paul's life. I'm so grateful that y'all were all able to make it. If you would like to introduce yourself real quick, um, we would love for you to.
I would say that many of you are probably muted. So before you talk,
Yeah,
I had to mute.
yeah.
It's a lot of noise. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
just unmute before you say anything.
Yeah, I
Good.
okay.
I'm Rachel, and I'm in Arizona, and I am Paul's big sister. Thank you so much for doing this.
We're so grateful. Oh, I think I'm muted.
No, you're not.
There we go. Here I am. We're
You're
so
not.
grateful that you were able to make it tonight. We love Paul so much. We still love Paul so much. He contributed. I get choked up easy. He contributed so much to so many of our lives that it's it's hard not to have tonight for him. Thank you for showing up.
Dennis, we're going to pair the audio to our speaker here so everybody can hear you.
Yeah, go right ahead and tell me when you're done. Oh no, they got the old guy doing it. What's going to happen while we're waiting on them to get paired up is for everyone else that's listening. What we're going to do is in we're going to just let people introduce themselves and talk a little bit now, and then at 9 p.m. we're going to play a song that is a toast. It's a toasting song, and once that finishes, then we'll all make a toast to Paul at that moment. And and I hope y'all all enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm Paul's cousin. And thank you so much for the outpouring of love for this really great spirit. And it's good to see you, Rachel. And I see Sally and Eddie back there.
Yes, and I'm so glad that y'all all able to make it. This is these are the amazing things that technology brings to us is the ability for us to connect so far apart, you know, for such a close encounter and so personal um, nature. I absolutely love this being able to do this, and I feel very fortunate that our brothers and from all over are joining us. And the brothers in New Braunfels right there that are working on their sound and everything, they're not the only ones. We have brothers in Austin that are listening in as well, um, that are up in North Austin that are going to be a part of this as well. So I just so that y'all know, I told everybody to log in at 8:45. So we're going to get an outpouring of people logging in at 8:45. We were coming on a little bit early so we could get these kinks out of here and get them fixed up and ready to go and get ourselves fixed up and ready to go. We didn't know how we was going to do these songs yet, but but it looks like it's going to work out pretty good.
Yeah, so far we're good.
And we all just put this together within the last couple of days. So this was not a big planned event. It just a couple of people talked about it, and all of
Go
a sudden,
go
all the
go
brothers came together
go.
and and decided, yeah,
Okay,
this
talk in a
is
second.
something we need to do.
Go away.
And we are broadcasting live now and recording, and then that way, when it's all said and done, it's going to be on our Masonic Improvement podcast
Go
and
away.
YouTube channel. For there we go. There's David.
I'll say if you're looking for it on Facebook, that music ping Facebook's filter, so it told me that it's not going to be showing it to anybody now. So the music was a no-go on Facebook. So as far as I know, we're still good on YouTube and the Zoom viewers, obviously.
But you know what? You know what I got to say about Facebook? I will not say it tonight. The Book of Faces, they make the rules.
Hello, Brother Hill. Good to see you.
Thank you, brother. We got several of us here in the courthouse area.
Wonderful, wonderful. As you can see up, well above you in my screen, we have our brothers from New Braunfels trying to get the speakers paired up with their system so that they can hear what we're saying.
Great. I think we've got the speaker issue dealt with now, so we won't have any more feedback. Appreciate
Nice.
y'all making this space for everyone tonight.
It's our honor and our pleasure, that's for sure. This is, Paul was bigger than life. This is bigger than any of one of us on our own, right? Which, by the way, while we're waiting, I'll let y'all know. This is my little toast glass that I use. And this is the toast glass that I have reserved for Paul, because I know he would enjoy just a little more than me.
That's a serious pour.
That's a serious pour. He was a serious brother. Sometimes. Not so serious a lot of
Hashtag intoxicating liquors. Let me show you around some of the brethren here.
Yes, please do.
Got some of our homies up here in the North Austin area.
Hello, brethren. Thank you for coming.
Oh, looks like our brother Eduardo from Brazil is here. He's one of the people I know down in Grand Lodge, Rio Grande do Sul, from the Grand Orient of Brazil. They do
Wonderful.
rectified Scottish right down there, and they are fantastic. Paul and I visited them with where'd he go? With James Medlock this last spring. That was a fantastic time.
Yes, he told us about that trip. I had never realized that there were so many different sects of Blue Lodges until Paul explained that there were 8 down there in Brazil.
8 regular rites, man. You can do your first 3 degrees in 8 different flavors if you want to. That is so cool. I mean, that's a cool masonry.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't have to travel to New Orleans to get those red degrees. You can just go to the next lodge down the road.
Right. I had to become a representative of the Grand Lodge at Quintana Roo to be able to do that. So.
Oh yeah, I was just down there this last week. Right on.
I know you were. And
Right Worshipful Brad Billings sent me as Grand Representative for Brazil. So that's wonderful. I'll be going back down there and hanging out with those brothers again, hopefully soon.
Beautiful. Yes. That's awesome. That's the one thing I love about our brotherhood, and we not only make these friends that we can trust forever, but we make them all around the world. Where else can you go and meet people all around the world that will embrace you and take care of you anytime you come in? When I go to Mexico, they will come up with a car to make sure I'm safe and take me wherever I want to go. My brothers come and pick me up and take me wherever I want to go. And that is brotherly love and affection. Tell me.
I had the same experience in Croatia a number of years ago. I was visiting, and a brother met me at my hotel picked me up, took me to their lodge, which was just outside of Zagreb, and had an amazing time. Drove me back, and they were
Yep.
amazing brothers. And they had a bar in their lodge too. Huh.
Imagine that.
I don't know how that slipped in, but
I think Paul would approve that comment.
I think so.
I think so.
I
And
mean, you got Dennis on here, so already we're going to have some comments. I'll get people in trouble.
Yeah, you should see the video that Justin and I did the other night. We're not going to post it until we're ready to move to another grand jurisdiction. Because we would definitely get kicked out if we posted it.
Calm down, Dennis. Calm down.
Fair. Texas tends to be Texas Masonry is wonderful, but there does tend to be a conservative bent to it that doesn't necessarily keep up with European or more international Masonic movements.
Right. Well, the beauty of it is, though, is that Texas is so large that we do have our circles and we have our little pockets of that kind of brotherhood that we get to feed each other what we feel like we're missing from the larger scale. So that's good. That's good in itself, right there.
So it looks like Brother Kohanke's online. Have they got their audio fixed yet?
I don't know yet. This,
Oh, they're still having issues apparently. Hopefully they'll be able to come online as well.
Yeah.
David, we may end up doing the main toast here with your because you got your audio.
Okay, yeah. If we need to, we can do the main toast here because we've got decent audio. Although we got some wonderful live music in this pub, but it's real loud inside.
Well, what we were gonna do is I've got did I send you the list of songs? So at 9 p.m. we'll actually use the Parting Glass song as the toast, and so at like 8:58 I'm gonna say all brothers be upstanding, and we'll all listen to the song, and then at the end say the Paul Edward Rana.
Wonderful.
How does that sound? Is that all right?
Sounds good.
And if you would like to say that, I would be more than happy to let you say that.
I would be honored to. We'll see if I can do it without choking up.
That's exactly right. That's why I don't want it to be.
Brother Tom over here just said it's okay to choke up, and I totally agree. I've been crying it out ever since I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, to put this out there, since y'all are recording, I have a doctorate in psychology, and I'm looking for a therapist right now to help me process my grief. So just saying, don't call me. I'm not doing a business plug. Just saying, if you're having a hard time, definitely get somebody on your side because you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
Well, David, I was planning on asking once we were done with this. I didn't want to interfere with this, but I think it's important. Well, Justin and I both feel like it's important to get you on Masonic Improvement, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about, that we need to be aware of our brothers, and we need to be able to catch those little words that we might not normally catch, and ask the questions that need to be asked to make sure that we are our brothers keepers as we should be. Yes, we would love to have you.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great conversation to have.
Yeah.
Man, I never had this many people in a Zoom before. I'm just saying.
How many do we have?
I don't know. It doesn't give me just a hardcore number to see. We've got 4, 8, 12, 16. That's like 18 people so far.
Hey,
nice.
Brother Kevin Fuller. Good to see you.
Yes,
Dennis, did you send me the link?
Lots of new faces.
Did you send me the link for the GoFundMe?
Good to see you, brother.
I did send it to you. I emailed it to you.
You all have people from multiple continents on this.
I know this is magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, when we do our lives on Sunday, we even get people over in the UK as well as in Australia that. I don't know why they stay up to watch us, but but it's pretty cool. But this,
Greg Hammond's in the house.
yes. Hey, Craig, how are you, brother?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Glad to see you here.
Glad to see you guys.
But yeah, normally we don't have this many on Zoom at the same
Yeah.
time. We're all doing it. We just broadcast and have our listeners.
I'm scrapping.
But,
I'm scrapping Facebook.
this is
It's causing too many issues with. It's just not working out on Facebook. So we got it on YouTube and we got it on the Zoom here.
Well, it's also recorded, so
Yeah. Now, Dennis, where'd you say you sent me that link to the GoFundMe at?
I sent it to your email.
You sent it to my email.
Or I may have sent it to your messenger.
We
I may
sent
have
it-
sent it to your messenger
Will you send it to my email?
so that you'd be able to get it on.
Will you email it to me, please?
Yeah. Watch me drop everything off right now doing this. Just when I had it all ready.
yeah, we've actually raised a fair amount of money already. We can use more to cover expenses. That helps some of the family travel out for the memorial as well.
Yes, and
Big deal.
that's what I'm hoping.
I was speaking with Paul's father today, and he's like, I've heard about this masonry thing. You're supposed to help each other out. Figured I'd show up and see what y'all do. And so he was, I think he was really impressed with the response we've had so far.
It's good.
The brothers really step up, and it's been beautiful to watch.
Very cool.
And by the way, he's probably down there in at the New Braunfels group right now, although I don't think he's up to. Hey, there we go, David. We are, yes. Bradley said that, Brother Crow Hanky.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a wonderful group of men.
I just sent it again, Justin.
Okay.
Hey, I got the South Carolina funeral arrangements from Paul's father, Ed Rana. I'm going to send that to y'all's Facebook here. So if you don't mind putting that out. So I'll send that to you here in a
We'd
second.
be happy to.
Okay. Who's saying
Yes,
that right
absolutely.
now? I got an email from someone named James.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yep, that's Brother James Medlock.
I'm juggling a lot of pages right now, so I can't keep up with who's saying what. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I just dance just so that all you know. I'm the one who just sits around and looks pretty and talks a lot. He's my editor in chief and makes sure that I stay in Freemasonry and they don't kick me out. So,
Wow.
so he's very busy while we enjoy the night. He's going to be very busy.
Yeah. I'm behind the scenes right now. Okay.
It's nice to see your behind the scenes face. Oh, and there's the Carlos Castillo.
Carlos.
Hey. Hello, brethren.
Man, I am in the wrong place. I should have gone up.
We love our people.
Right?
Hola, ¿cómo está? Hey, sorry guys, I was unexpectedly free tonight, but by the time I would have gotten there, I would have missed the goings on, and I would have been having to do this by the road. Hello, Tom. Dave McCann, brother Dave, and company. Dave, get out of the camera. Get out of the way. Come on in, sister. Come on in. It's good to see y'all. Good, everybody.
It's not. It's your daughter, Mama.
Is this a?
If so, Justin, is Brad's computer working yet?
You're asking.
Go ahead and
You're asking me?
No, Justin Arman. He had just walked
okay.
by.
Hey, Dave.
I see
McCann?
Dr. Justin Glosson is online. Yeah, Dr. Justin Glosson.
Dr. Justin
Look how
Glosson.
handsome he looks there with his goatee. Cheers.
Long time no see, Justin. What's up, buddy?
Music and Freemasonry.
Yes, y'all missed the Metallica, so you're just gonna have to. Sorry, guys, but there's gonna be a couple more songs that I think that y'all will like because they were definitely some that Paul really liked. So we're gonna make sure that there's a little bit more music going on.
I'm going to post in the comments here on Zoom the link to donate for the funeral arrangements. Most of you have probably seen it, but I'm going to go ahead and post.
Is that Arthur back there? That is Art. Yay.
Sure is.
Man,
Wow.
a lot of faces I haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
A lot of wonderful brethren.
Yeah.
I'm going to minimize my screen and get the song ready because we are almost ready for the toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have the excuse me. Maybe I do. Hold on. Oh, okay. That's for the okay. So I have the 9 o'clock toast that James sent me. It's on. It's on my phone, but it's not pulling up on my desktop, which for whatever reason. Oh wait, James, did you send that to Masonic Improvement? My Masonic Improvement email? That might be what's going on. Let me check that. I might be looking at the wrong email. Like I said, I got too many things open right now.
Do
Let's see.
you don't mind if I say a couple words about Paul?
Please do.
Yes.
I'll save y'all from the interstitial space. Um,
Exactly.
So, Paul and I met appropriately in a punk bar in Austin. He was wandering around as I was waiting for somebody to show up, and he was talking loudly on the phone, as he was wont to do, about giving a lecture on Kabbalah at a lodge. I was like, what? So I stopped him after he got off the phone call. I'm like, who are you? Because I thought I knew everybody who'd be giving a lecture on Kabbalah at a lodge. Introduced himself, and apparently I knew all his friends, and I'd known him for years. I just never met Paul, so of course I knew all his crew. But that was how our friendship began, and over the next
When was
decade,
this, Dave?
it deepened. And Paul was like a younger brother to me. We were incredibly close friends and collaborated on most of what we were doing. I love him to the bottom of my heart, and my life is better for having known him. And as we have people who I've been sharing grieving with for multiple continents, a lot of people felt that way. He had a huge heart, and would often do things to his own personal deficit just to help others. He was a tremendous man and a tremendous Mason.
Yeah. Well, since you brought that up and we got just a couple minutes, I'll go ahead and say how Paul and he was standing up for my wife against some lady that was going crazy, right? And I wasn't even there. I wasn't a part of it. And I just knew that everybody had been drinking a little too much, and it was just time for us to go, right? So we're heading out to the truck, and my wife is crying, and I'm upset, and my daughter's upset, and we get to the truck, and Paul comes up and says, "It's not her fault." And I said, "Who are you to be telling me what?" And that's how it started. And we immediately, and what's funny is, not knowing that he was a 6th degree black belt, I said, "You better watch yourself."
He was only 5th degree at the time, James pointed out.
Right.
So you're saying he had a chance?
Exactly, I had a chance. But anyways, we were kind of upset with each other for just a few months, during that time. And then after that, though, I apologized, and he gracefully took the apology, and he did as well. And man, every time we got together, it was pure love, man. There's not anyone that I have felt that kind of warmth and embrace when I hugged somebody that I knew that he meant it when he hugged me. And it started off in stress and it ended up being, just something that it's hard to describe. It's really hard to describe.
Yeah, his motto was "Heart of the Cross." He was always heart forward, right? Always.
Yes. and I should have been. Of course, I was inebriated, and I should have been more understanding that he was trying to do the better of trying to be the better of the two of us. But I think both of us got a little cross on that. But he was a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure. I should have known that he was into martial arts when he did the splits on the floor of the Scottish Rite building.
Which time?
Which time? we took a picture after this big fancy meal that we had for Alamo.
Oh, at the Alamo?
Yes. And at
gala,
the end, at the gala. And so there's this huge picture, and here's him right in the middle of the floor, just rock and roll in the splits, just rock and roll. That's
Paul.
Yes, and I love that.
Yeah, the McCams have a great story about when we were all hanging out at the dive bar after a Scottish Rite thing, and I was talking to Mrs. McCam, and because Motley Crue came on, and he started rocking out. A couple songs later, another Motley Crue song came on, and he took his hair down, and started headbanging. And I said, "Watch this! If the third one comes on, he's going to do the splits."
He did.
He did, right?
He did.
Right on cue.
Yeah,
right on
man.
It was amazing.
That's why we're soul brothers.
Well, that's funny you
I
mentioned.
learned how to sing with Motley Crue.
It's funny that you mentioned his hair. The first time I met Paul was at Grand Lodge, and he had his hair up, right? And then it was like a pub crawl or something that evening, and he was walking around. He walked in, and he had his hair down. This dude had like gorgeous hair, and it was like hanging down. I'm not even a hair guy. I was like, dude, you got amazing hair. He's like, thanks, bro. And it just went from there. But that was our first conversation, was about his hair. There was no splits involved.
That's funny. Well, you didn't know him well. I don't think anybody had to know him well to get him to do splits. Showboat. I can't even tie my own shoes by squatting down.
I remember seeing him at the punk bar before we introduced ourselves, because when I met him, he was wearing a suit and his hair was back. But I remember this short, loudmouth guy that was so loud all the time to do the splits. I'm like, who is this obnoxious guy? Later on, he became one of my best friends in the world.
Right.
Yeah,
Isn't that how it always works?
Yeah, you didn't fail to notice Paul Rana.
Very in your.
I see his parents are here with us. Justin, can you unmute them so that they can say hello? And
what names am I looking for?
Bradley. They're unmuted now.
Okay, there we go.
Hello, can y'all hear us? Yes? We can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Whoever is in control of that meeting needs to opt to use the audio. Thank you, Brother Zavala. I don't believe you joined the meeting with the audio.
Is that any better? Can you guys hear us now?
Yes.
There you
go.
Dennis, we're passing out lyrics right now to the song that you're going to play, and we're all going to sing. We're going to follow the lyrics. We're totally singing. And if we could do this right at time.
We got 1 minute on my clock.
Yeah, let me get going here. Let me get it going.
Is there a way you can pull up the lyrics, Dennis? Like share it?
I had one that had the lyrics, but it wasn't as good as this one.
Was this the one that James sent?
No.
No? Okay.
Just a second. Let me do my share screen stuff real quick.
Oh, we got 1 minute, and the pressure is on.
Oh,
come on.
Oh, my gosh,
I know.
Dennis.
Tell me. Can y'all see my screen?
Buffering.
Yeah, what are you watching, man?
Whoa, what have you been pulling up, Dennis?
Yeah, what are you?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Break caller. Ceasefire.
Okay, brothers.
Abort.
Brother.
Break caller.
Brothers, brothers, family, and friends, if you would, brothers, please be upstanding. We will stand during this portion, and at the end, Brother David Hill will say the final.
Sorsha.
We'll
She
say the
sent me
final
here to come
toast.
find you.
All the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company.
Have at it, Brother David.
And
You're on mute.
harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me a parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls, and gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all.
Brother Hill.
Now is the hour when our order's tower is darkened by the shroud of night, and Father Time, when his silver chime tolls off each moment's flight. In his cloistered halls each Martinus recalls his brothers where they may be, and traces their faces to well-known places in the annals of memory. Whether they stand on a foreign land or lie in an earthen bed, whether they be on the boundless sea with the breakers of death ahead. Whatever the plight on this dark night, whatever their fate may be, wherever they are, be it near or far, they are thinking of you and me. So drink from the fountain of fellowship to the brother who clasped your hand and wrote your worth in the rock of earth and your faults upon the sand. To our absent brothers, especially Paul Edward Rana.
Paul Edward Rana.
Paul Edward Rana.
Here.
Paul Edward Rana.
Here, here.
We love you.
Where?
Now I'm gonna throw up another song. I'm gonna throw up another song real quick, and then and just for a couple of minutes, just to help us to revive our hearts. One of his favorites, and I'm sure that y'all will agree. Oh, I did the wrong screen. I'm sorry. You know, amateur. It's amateur hour.
Al probably can't see this over my iPhone. There's a lot of tears here in North Austin.
All right, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to share that to lighten the mood just a little bit. At this time, this is the time that for anyone that is on the feed, and I would prefer that we hear from the family first, and hear a little bit about their feelings about Paul and what he's meant in their lives. That would I would like to honor the family first in having that opportunity.
So, this is Ed and Sally. We just don't know what to say. It's been a hard week, but there's no way we would have gotten through this without Paul's brothers. And everything that you guys have done, we just love you.
We had no idea what we would face, and we couldn't have done it. We didn't do it.
It's so hard. You guys are making us as comfortable as we can be, and we feel all the love. And just thank you for everything, and thank you for loving our son, your brother. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to say on behalf of all the brothers and sisters here that thank you, because y'all raised him. Y'all made him who he was. And we're grateful for the contributions y'all put into our lives to make us the better people that we are because we knew Paul.
Yes, he was a great son.
Thank you.
Can we hear from...
It was very well said, Dennis, and thank you so much.
Can we hear from Rachel or
Rachel?
Where's... Okay, there you are.
Hi. Gosh. My brother, I remember my mom being pregnant because I was either a junior or a senior in high school. And I just thought, what is happening here? Right? And then Paul was born. And he was just so golden and happy. I have so many good memories. Paul lived with us for a while when my kids were little. And he just brought so much chaos and love. And we took him sledding one time, and he got on this sled like a surfboard. And he ran right into the tree, and he injured the tree, and he got up and he was like, it didn't hurt me a bit. And watching him teach my daughter the taekwondo in the backyard, and I'm just gonna miss my brother. I'm gonna miss making more connections and seeing what ridiculousness he's gonna come up with next. And I remember when he moved from my house to you guys. And it broke my heart. But I knew that was where he was going to find joy. But I had no idea that he was going to find you guys. And I'm really grateful that he had you. So thank you for everything you've done for my parents. And I look forward to being with you all on the 20th. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll miss you. I love you guys.
Karen, would you like to say something?
I think it's funny that Rachel brought up that she remembers her mom being pregnant with Paul, because I definitely remember that. I was pregnant at the same time with my youngest son. And she didn't like that. Paul is just a month older than my younger son, and one of his classmates is actually married to my older son. She's on here too. And Paul was this little dynamo. I just remember he was always active, And Eddie was so proud of him, all his accomplishments. He did have kick-ass hair. I mean, and in fact, all of the Rana guys have kick-ass hair. They really do. Even my older son DJ, when his hair was grown out too, like, yeah, do that. It's really good. And Paul went everywhere. I remember looking at his Instagram pages over the years and just thinking, my husband and I, we live in Maui now, and just thinking, geez, he's everywhere. One day he's on this side of the world, and the other day he's on that side of the world, and he's meeting all of these wonderful people. And just to see it all come together in this way, it breaks my heart, but it also makes me feel very promising with what's out there in the world today. That you're all there for my uncle and my aunt. They really need this right now. Just a couple months ago, Paul went and Ed picked him up, and they went and he said goodbye to my mom. And he was there in little ways like that turned out to be big ways. Boy, did he love his family. You could see that when he was around Tiffany, especially.
You notice someone dropped
But thank you for putting this together. I really appreciate it. It really helps healing. It's good to see my aunt, my uncle laugh, smile. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the family that would like to talk first?
Am I muted?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul's oldest cousin, Eric. And I just got to say that we just saw him. We had lunch with him at one of my parents' favorite restaurants, right around the holiday season. And he appeared to be really happy, very joyous. You know, it was a great pleasure being around him. And what I find with this Zoom call is that it's amazing how many brothers he actually has. It's incredible. And you guys are essential in his brotherhood. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I watched the little shit grow up in diapers, run around, pulling Christmas ornaments off of trees, all kinds of craziness. And they grew up to be just this well-rounded young man. And I was really sad that he was taken from us at such a young age. But I just got to say, with the brotherhood that I see here, he was part of a bigger family. And I want to thank you all.
Thank you.
Well, Ed, I wanna say something to your note about, you said a term so many. Listen, there's 20 some odd people here on this meeting room. No. And this is for the family. We all loved Paul. This is not a fraction of the people that cared for Paul and vice versa. So the people, the men and women you see here tonight is a tip of the iceberg of the love and affection that he has infected all of us. So if you can feel that in the number of individuals that are here now, multiply that, because everything that you guys are all saying absolutely makes total sense, because he was a fireball of energy and he saturated the room everywhere he went, even if he was there for a split second.
Yeah.
And whenever Karen talked about she remembers seeing him travel everywhere he went, even locally, he saturated with the room with the energy, and I could just see him ripping stuff up. I mean, he was a good terror. He was excellent. He really, 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 and Dennis said it earlier. You can't not hear him. You can't not feel his energy. And not only did he project it, he did a really good job of receiving the energy, or even take the energy from you that you may not even know you had. So it was very infectious in reminding you, or myself, right? Reminding me that, hey, I have your energy and maybe you're pulling it out on me. So he had that effect on him, on us, on everywhere, and at different levels also. So again, Eric, I mean, and the rest of the family, with the love you feel now, the people that are behind you and also everywhere online, there's so many more people who feel the way we feel about Paul. So
I would like to piggyback off what Carlos just said about just the sheer amount of brothers out there that were touched by Paul. I have a lot of Masonic friends on Facebook, and I can't tell who's who anymore because they've all taken Paul's picture and made it their profile picture. So it's the same picture, like 30 people down. I have to try to keep track of all the names. But to his energy, Paul was on one of our interviews a few months ago. Fantastic interview, and you could, during the conversation, I mean, it was a Zoom conversation just like this, but his energy was so contagious. It just came through the screen. You could tell he was so passionate about Freemasonry and all the other organizations that he was a part of and all of his projects. I was very inspired by him, and he was a brother that I had a tremendous amount of respect for and sincerely looked up to. And so, when I received the news, I could hardly believe it, but he will be sincerely missed.
And an incredible saxophone player to boot.
Alto. Yeah.
See, I didn't know he did that.
Yeah.
Hey, Eduardo Costa is a brother Mason from Brazil. He's online right now, as well as another Brazilian friend, an old friend of mine, Paulo Pereira. I was wondering if Brother Eduardo, if you feel comfortable speaking, since you're on a different continent, maybe you can speak a little bit to the impact that Paul's had on you down in Brazil.
Absolutely, please.
Brother Paul was firstly my friend, a great friend. I lost this week a close friend, someone that I kept close to my heart, and he had a big impact in my life. He was someone that I got to know from Masonry, from another esoteric order that we studied together, and he came to Brazil in his spirit of pure beneficence, pure donation. He came here for his goodwill. We first met in 2018, and as soon as we met, we hugged each other as we were old friends, and we talked very much when we were not together. He came here in Brazil last year, around 300 days ago, I just left a Masonic meeting here, where Paul gave a lecture, a brilliant lecture, for so many people that got impacted by Paul. Uh, People here remember Paul as a brilliant person, as a even greater heart that gave all he had in order to the benefit of others. So tonight, I just got from the meeting, from the Masonic meeting. Our lodge, where Paul, at the exact temple where Paul was less than a year before, we decided to make a tribute to him, send his lodge to his family, a letter from our lodge for our expressing a little bit of what we felt Paul, and I just want to know that aside those connections, I loved him very much. I his loss hit me hard this week, and love you all, guys, his family. Please accept my condolences, and love everyone that loved Paul. Just it.
Thank you.
Love all of you. All of you. This is what a beautiful tribute. And we thank everybody for all your kindness, all your love, your generosity, and we're overwhelmed. That's all I've got. And we will remember you forever and keep you in our prayers forever. And when we pray for Paul, we pray for you.
Dennis,
Amen.
can I invite and put Bradley on the spot?
Please.
Sure. Please do.
We want to hear a few words from you. Everybody wants to hear it from you.
Sit down. Sit down here.
Dennis, yeah, I'll blame it on Dennis. Have you said anything?
You're good, Brad. Go ahead.
I don't have anything prepared, so I'll just describe kind of briefly how Paul and I met. I met him in San Marcos and he was giving a talk on Western esotericism. And I had questions for him about it, how it had migrated from the East. And the guy was like this encyclopedia of knowledge, and he had answers for every question that I asked. And it was so fascinating to watch him. And there was another Mason there who was relatively new. And when we gathered outside for brandies and cigars and croquet in the yard, he came up to me and he said, I feel like I know so little about Masonry. I've only been a member for a short period of time, and you guys seem to know so much, and I feel like I've got so much catching up to do. And I'm like, dude, Paul is half my age and knows twice as much as I do. The fact that you're here listening to Paul give this lecture puts you light years ahead of 99% of the Masons in Texas. And Paul heard me say that, and he just came up behind me and gave me a big hug from behind, and I was like, we were friends ever since. And God, I don't know anybody else that could have said or done what he did. And God, I just love him. I just love him to death. He's a great guy. Great guy. So thanks for letting me make a fool of myself and cry in front of everybody.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah.
Does Brother Armand want to say anything?
Yeah. Paul, Paul was a great teacher in my life. He was a mentor to me, and he he comforted me, and he helped me through a very difficult time in my life. And he was a great friend, but it was just really interesting when I would be in his company. His energy, as much as he gave, like when I was in his company, I always felt like I had that there's this bright like energy that was feeding me, feeding my soul. And when I would see him and I would see his eyes widen when he looked at me, like I just knew that there was something sort of transcendent in him. And I felt that he had this incredible way to nurture and love his friends, and that when you were in his company, it was like, as much as he knew and as aware as he was, it was like he knew how to focus that love to where you would just feel so important and so cared for, like he could truly see you. And I would come to him with many different, things that were happening in my family life and just some internal struggle. And he always had a way to just make me feel like, I see you, it's okay. And, here's some tidbit of advice, but, really it wasn't even just his words, but it was his nurturing energy. And as much as of a teacher he was, and he was that to me, he was also just a dear friend. And we would rage together, we would go to the bars together, we'd have fun together. But then we would sit, in his home, and we would have these these incredible discussions. And I learned so much from him. I remember just being floored by the many facets of Paul, that he had this encyclopedic knowledge, and he could speak in really any language you wanted him to speak in. But he also had this just bright energy where he never held back, like, when I looked at Paul, I saw my aspirational identity. Like I saw that what I hope to become one day, where I could just open my heart to those around me and not feel so restrained and inhibited. And I really looked up to him. I really looked up to him. And, just a couple of days before his passing, he was sending me, funny memes that would just make me laugh. Like I would be stressed out, and right when I would feel that anxiety, I'd get a message from him, and it would be, a meme or a reel that would just make me hysterically laugh. And I just wanted to say that I know that we need to move on, and there's a lot of people that want to speak here, but I have to say that, I've lost precious people in my life, and I felt like when they had passed, it has been final. Their energy is gone, they're gone. But I do have to say that this is the first time that I've lost somebody that I love, that I still feel him here. I feel him here. I feel him here right now.
Yes.
I can see him. I can see him looking at me, and I can see those, amazing intense facial expressions he makes, and I can hear the words behind them. And his presence, he's almost more present. He's been almost more present to me in this week with his passing than he was before his passing. And I've never had an experience like that. And I just am so clear, like we're all here together right now, that he's here with us. I know it. I just know he's here. And I don't know if others have been experiencing that too, but I just wanted to share that because it's been really comforting and almost a way for me to maybe move to the next stage in my spiritual path, is just being so clear that connectedness that I have with him. And I think maybe that's the last lesson he wanted to teach me, and I can only speak to my experience, but I love you all, and I take so much comfort in you all being here. It's been really hard, but at the same time, like, it's an opportunity for us to open our hearts to each other and realize that we have something that makes us family, and that's our love for Paul. And thank you for being here.
I'd like to say something real quick on what he touched on, that energy. You know, I felt the same thing this week, and you know, I've read so much on Kabbalah and Hermetic principle and things of that nature, but this week it really came to life with me through Paul, because I can remember the energy transfer into my body from him on every embrace, and I feel that energy here. And like Justin just said, I've never really experienced that before in my life. My mother passed away when I was 13, and I didn't experience that. But Paul had that effect on me, and he taught me that lesson, and he taught me that love. And the other thing that I learned from Paul is it's okay for us brothers to say, I love you. I love you because you're my brother. You love me. You take care of me. You care about what I'm doing. You care about what you're doing. I love you. We're all in this together. And, you know, that's something that even in Freemasonry, we sometimes fall short of. And we hug each other, you know, and give a little bump as brothers, but sometimes we forget to just tell you, I love you, man. And that's, yeah, I'm looking at you, Dave. I love you, man. So it's something that we need to tell people a little more often. Would someone else like to share? So of course my mentor has to come in and say I'm wrong. Brad, did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, I really appreciate you guys putting this on, and I want to thank all the groups that have gathered around the state and around the country to participate in this. I think this is a fantastic way to honor Paul. I think it's time to play some music, dude.
All right, we can do that. We can do that. Give me just 1 second.
Some Buffett.
Little Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett would be nice.
Okay, let me find some for you.
Good, thank you. Paul liked Buffett too. He had
I think we have a vote for Nickelback.
Funny.
Man, that was just wrong. So
was a vote for David Hill for Nickelback. Let's blog that for later reference.
You know what? Before you get into the jamming out, I want to say something else about Paul.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Something I was thinking about is I talked to his uncle Eric about how I mentioned how there's so many more people he impacted on different levels. And one of those levels is you can clearly see how he affected people, how they made him feel, et cetera, how he made them feel, how he gave the energy to them. He taught them. So many people learn from whether it was wisdom, language, whatever the case is, right? Many people looked at Paul as a teacher, and they love him for that because anybody, there's certain stages in men's life where they're looking for something, and when they learn something from somebody, they really glom onto it. And a lot of people do that with Paul. But what was my relationship with Paul was that, right? We learned off each other. But what he was really great at, if it's obvious, is he was a student. He was a student of so many different arts, so many different crafts, so many different systems, so many different languages. And when you get to a certain stage or a place, you look for teachers. You look for somebody who can teach you something. Because a lot of the stuff he was self-taught, very academic in his studies of the various different things. And Paul and I had that relationship with each other because we started our journeys You know, I met him when he was starting his journey. He was 22 years old when I met him, and I was a few years into the path that I was taking, and we instantly connected because we were running in parallel to what we were looking for. And he and a couple of other groups, and Brother David will be able to tell you this, Brother James will be able to tell you, Brother Craig. Not only did we learn from Paul, but he was receptive to what we gave him. So he was a student as well. And brothers, friends, even strangers, when you connect with somebody on that level where you're learning from each other, there is a different kind of bond that just simply just it cannot be it can't be denied. And that's a different type of relationship Paul had with a bunch of other people. He had an audience, but he was also really good learner as well. And it shows in everything that he's learned, because you can't teach somebody if you don't learn something. And he's learned quite a bit, which meant he was a very, very good student. So that's what I'm going to miss most about Paul is he was always eager to learn from guys like myself, from guys like many of us, and not just that we can learn from him. That's another way he impacted so many people, is because he got a chance to be taught as well. I'm gonna miss that about him.
Absolutely.
Good little dude. A little funny story. When I met him, like I said, he was 22 years old, and we were doing an exemplification of an alchemical initiation in our philosophical roundtable discussion once. Ooh. And I started speaking to him in Spanish, and he was not listening. And I thought, hey, man. And I started speaking to him in Spanish, and he looks at me and he starts talking to me in French. I said, I don't know what the hell you just said. He said, yeah, I don't know what you just said either. I said, oh, you're not Mexican? Oh, I'm not French, so let's just speak English. All right. It was a really funny story, and then we just became friends ever since then.
That's awesome.
It was funny, dude. Funny.
Dennis, do you have a song queued up, or you want me to do one?
You guys have
I've got one. I've actually got a greatest hits kind of thing, so it's going to be whatever the algorithm decides. Let me turn this up a little bit.
No, he did not.
Now they make me movies in old black and white, with happy endings where nobody fights. So if you find yourself in that nostalgic rage, honey, jump right up and show your age. I wish I had a pencil thin mustache, the Boston black egg kind, two-tone Ricky Ricardo jacket, and an autographed picture of Andy Devine. I remember being buck-toothed and skinny, writing fan letters disguised neat penny. Oh, I wish I had a pencil thin mustache, then I could solve some mysteries too. Dennis Bandstand, Disneyland, growing up fast, drinking Yeah, bread, cream, a little dab will do you. Oh, I could do some cruising too.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that choice. I'm gonna do one more that I had picked out earlier from my favorite hits of Motley Crue. It's not quite so hardcore, but I think it's kind of fitting for today. Sorry about my ass.
Mr. Lover. She call me Mr. Boom.
It's you, dude.
Yo.
Does anybody else miss the old real MTV days? Oh my gosh. I see these and I just want to cry.
Wow, man, like
Come on my way.
You know I'm a dreamer, but my heart's of gold. I had a runaway high, so I wouldn't come home low. Just when things went right, doesn't mean they were always wrong. Just take this song, and you'll never be left all alone. Take me to your heart, feel me in your bones. Just one more night, and I'm coming on this long and winding road. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home. Tonight, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home. You know that I've seen too many romantic dreams. Up in lights, falling off the silver screen. My heart's like an open book for the whole world to read. Sometimes nothing keeps me together at the seams. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home. Tonight, I'm on my way. Just set me free. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home.
All right.
Dennis, I'd say on that note, unless anyone has any final thoughts that they want to share, we should probably just be respectful of everybody's time. Most people don't record until midnight like we do, Dennis. So we should probably keep that in mind.
Right, but the floor is open to anyone who would like to contribute to the last thoughts of this night, please.
Just one last comment. Again, thank you all for everything that you've done. Sally and my heart has been so mixed up all week, and I've got to tell you tonight, the weight's being lifted, and thank you for all of that. And as I said before, pray for Paul, we pray for you. Thank you.
It was an honor to be able to do this in memory of Paul tonight.
Yeah, and once again, I'd like to say it all started with you and your wife, and if it wasn't for y'all, then we would have never had this pleasure. And even in our sorrow, it's a sweet pleasure. It is, because he was such a moving person in our life.
Well, thank you.
And his sisters too.
Yeah.
His sisters had to have kicked him around a little bit to toughen him up. I mean, he had to learn taekwondo.
Siblings build character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we love you. If you guys need anything, you let us know. And I want y'all to know, if the GoFundMe falls short, call me. You have my information. I'm going to send you my number tonight, Rachel. Call me and let me know, and we will make sure and get that boosted up again. We'll make sure that y'all have enough for everybody to get together and celebrate Paul.
Dennis has a check ready out of his own money, out of his own bank account. Just
well, let's just do this real quick.
One last thing. We will have the ability to live stream Paul's funeral mass
Good.
in South Carolina, and everyone will have that information available to them.
Awesome. All right, I guess we're.
I don't know where Dennis went, but
Yeah.
Everybody that's watching right now, I want to challenge you to match this $100 bill. That's gonna go into the fund as soon as we get off. Everybody that's listening to us live, and everybody that sees this podcast, listens to the podcast, or sees our show, I want you to match this $100 bill. I'm putting it down right now, and it'll go into the fund as soon as we close the store tonight.
And the link has been shared in the comments on Zoom, and as well as on the comments on YouTube. So, with that said, thank you everybody for taking time out of your evening to help mourn this loss. And I'm sad that it's under such circumstances, but I thank everybody for coming.
And for all the family, come to Masonic Improvement if you need to reach us, and I'll make sure and take care of whatever you need.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Paul.
Recording stopped.